Are you looking for ways to make immediate, profound changes in your life? Imagine this. You're stuck in gridlocked traffic, horns blaring. You're already late for a crucial meeting. Your phone keeps buzzing with urgent messages. Stress builds. Blood pressure rises. A familiar scene of modern chaos. But what if I told you that this very moment, this seemingly frustrating situation, could become an opportunity for profound personal growth? Picture the same scenario through a different lens. While others rage against their circumstances, one person remains remarkably calm. They use the extra time to mentally prepare for their meeting. They listen to an enriching podcast. They practice presence. Same situation, radically different experience. This isn't about positive thinking or denying reality. It's about something far more powerful. An ancient philosophy that's helped emperors rule kingdoms, prisoners endure captivity, and modern CEOs navigate global crises. For over 2,000 years, the Stoics have offered practical wisdom for dealing with life's challenges, big and small. Their teachings aren't about escaping our problems, but about meeting them with wisdom, courage, and grace. Today, we'll explore 20 timeless principles that can transform your life, not through complex theories or empty promises, but through practical, actionable wisdom that you can start applying the moment this video ends. As Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." Welcome to the Stoic lifestyle, where ancient wisdom meets modern living. Let's begin with our first principle. 1. Control what you can. Picture a high-stakes moment in a downtown office. A major client threatens to leave. Teams scramble in panic, and amid the chaos, one person remains surprisingly calm. Not because they're indifferent, but because they've discovered what Epictetus taught centuries ago. Some things are in our control and others not. This modern professional had learned to channel energy only into what could be influenced, letting go of everything else. What followed was fascinating. Instead of desperately trying to control the client's decision, they focused entirely on delivering exceptional work. As Marcus Aurelius counseled, "Get back up when you fail, celebrate behaving like a human, however imperfectly, and fully embrace the pursuit that you've embarked on." The client not only stayed, but brought in additional business, yet the real victory lay elsewhere, in the discovery of a new way of working and living. Consider how this principle plays out in daily life. A flight gets cancelled. Most passengers rage at the gate agent, demanding impossible solutions. But one traveler, understanding Seneca's wisdom that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality, focuses instead on what they can control, rearranging meetings, finding alternative routes, making productive use of the unexpected time. Same situation, radically different experience. The practice is deceptively simple. Draw 2 circles each morning. In one, list everything causing anxiety. In the other, highlight what you can actually influence. Watch how this mental clarity transforms decision-making, relationships, and inner peace. As Epictetus reminds us, there is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. 2. Live in the present. In a world of endless notifications and constant future planning, consider the revelation that struck a successful executive one evening. His young daughter asked a devastatingly simple question at dinner: "Why do you never hear me when I talk?" This moment, piercing through years of mental absence, brought to life Marcus Aurelius's warning: "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present." The transformation began with a cup of coffee, not a hurried gulp between emails, but a conscious experience of warmth, aroma, and flavor. No phone, no mental to-do lists, just complete presence in a simple moment. As Seneca observed, life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future. The practice expanded like ripples on a pond. Mindful driving replaced automated commuting, genuine conversations replaced distracted nodding, and real listening replaced mere waiting to speak. 3 random daily alarms became anchors to presence, each ring a reminder to notice 5 specific things: 1 sight, 1 sound, 1 touch, 1 smell, and the last thought before the alarm. The results transcended mere productivity. Relationships deepened, opportunities previously invisible became apparent, and most surprisingly, time seemed to expand. As Marcus Aurelius counseled, every hour focus your mind attentively on the performance of the task in hand, with dignity, human sympathy, benevolence and freedom, and leave aside all other thoughts. 3. Change your perspective. Imagine losing everything you've built over 8 years in a single morning. Now watch as this apparent disaster transforms into the catalyst for an extraordinary reinvention. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." This wisdom played out in real time as a corporate layoff became the doorway to unprecedented freedom and creativity. The pivot wasn't immediate, it rarely is. But as Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. What began as a desperate job search evolved into questioning long-held assumptions about success and security. The corporate severance package, initially seen as a final paycheck, became seed funding for a long-ignored passion project. Consider the method that emerged. Each challenge faced would be viewed through 3 distinct lenses: immediate impact, future opportunity, and hidden blessing. A client's harsh feedback, initially stinging, revealed crucial blind spots in the business model. A competitor's success, rather than threatening, inspired innovation. As Marcus Aurelius noted, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." 4. Embrace change. Picture a small, dusty bookstore where time seemed to stand still. Handwritten ledgers, paper receipts, and categorical resistance to computerization. A scene from the past stubbornly persisting in the digital age. Then came the pandemic, forcing a choice: adapt or disappear. As Marcus Aurelius observed, the universe is transformation, life is opinion. The transformation that followed would have seemed impossible months earlier. Digital inventory systems replaced weathered notebooks, and local shelves expanded into a national marketplace. But the real story wasn't about technology. It was about embracing what Heraclitus, beloved by the Stoics, meant when he said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man." What emerged wasn't just a modernized bookstore, but a new philosophy of business and life. Each change became not an interruption to be resisted, but an opportunity to be explored. As Seneca counseled, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. The most remarkable discovery, the very changes that seemed to threaten tradition, ended up preserving it in unexpected ways, allowing ancient wisdom to reach modern readers through contemporary channels. 5. Practice gratitude. Dawn breaks over a city skyline. Inside a high-rise apartment, a corporate executive begins what seems like a trivial ritual, listing 3 things to be grateful for. At first, the entries are predictable: coffee, shelter, transportation. But something profound happens as the weeks pass. Marcus Aurelius's wisdom comes alive. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. The transformation is subtle but profound. The morning commute, once a source of frustration, becomes an opportunity to notice the interplay of light on glass buildings. The chaos of a busy coffee shop reveals countless small acts of kindness between strangers. Even corporate meetings take on new dimension as the executive begins to appreciate the unique perspectives and efforts of each team member. Epictetus taught, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." This philosophy manifests in unexpected moments, finding joy in a rainy day that waters the earth, appreciating the strength in muscles after a challenging workout, seeing beauty in the ordered chaos of a city street. The practice evolves into what Seneca called the grateful heart, not just acknowledging good things, but actively seeking them out. A delayed train becomes a chance to read an extra chapter. A difficult colleague becomes a teacher of patience. Even failures transform into valuable lessons, proving Marcus Aurelius right when he said, "What stands in the way becomes the way." 6. Serve others. In the heart of a bustling city, a remarkable transformation unfolds. A former executive, once focused solely on profit margins and quarterly reports, discovers what Marcus Aurelius meant when he wrote, "What benefits the hive benefits the bee." The journey begins in a community center, teaching business basics to aspiring entrepreneurs. The initial 2-hour weekly commitment expands organically, as Seneca's wisdom proves true. He who gives when he is asked has waited too long. Each mentoring session reveals new dimensions of fulfillment. The questions of young entrepreneurs spark forgotten passions. Their challenges provide opportunities to transform past failures into valuable lessons. The impact ripples outward like stones thrown into still water. New businesses emerge, creating jobs and strengthening the community. But the most profound changes happen internally. As Epictetus observed, the greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. The mentor discovers that teaching others to navigate challenges brings perspective to personal struggles. The science confirms what the Stoics knew intuitively. Serving others triggers neurological responses that enhance well-being. But beyond biology lies something deeper. Marcus Aurelius counseled, "Look well into thyself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if thou wilt always look." This strength, it turns out, flows most freely when directed toward others' growth. 7. Face your mortality. Imagine a sterile hospital room at 3 a.m., heart monitor beeping steadily. A successful attorney lies awake after a minor heart attack, suddenly understanding what Marcus Aurelius meant when he wrote, "You could leave life right now." Let that determine what you do and say and think. The briefcase full of urgent cases in the corner seems absurdly unimportant now. In this quiet moment of clarity, Seneca's words echo through time. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. The mental inventory that follows is brutal in its honesty. Missed dinners, postponed vacations, unspoken words of love, all sacrificed on the altar of someday. But as Epictetus taught, it's not death that a man should fear, but never beginning to live. What emerges from this wake-up call isn't a dramatic resignation or a move to Bali. Instead, it's a subtle but profound restructuring of priorities. The morning ritual now includes a moment of memento mori, remembering mortality not to induce fear, but to strip away the trivial. As Marcus Aurelius advised, every day as it comes should be welcomed and reduced forthwith into our own possession, as if it were the finest day imaginable. Client meetings still matter, but they no longer overshadow family dinners. The gym is no longer negotiable. The novel that's been waiting to be written finally finds its time slot. Most importantly, the words "I love you" are no longer saved for special occasions. Death becomes not a shadow over life, but a lamp illuminating what truly matters. 8. Maintain perspective. Picture this. A startup founder stands in a planetarium after a catastrophic product launch, watching projections of countless galaxies swirl overhead. Marcus Aurelius whispers across centuries, "How ridiculous and how strange to be surprised at anything which happens in life." Suddenly, the disaster that seemed all-consuming appears remarkably small against the cosmic backdrop. This shift in perspective doesn't minimize real challenges, it right-sizes them. As Epictetus noted, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The practice becomes systematic. Each crisis is viewed through multiple lenses of time. How will this matter in a week, a month, a year, a decade? The cosmic view becomes a practical tool for decision-making. Consider the method that develops. Important decisions are made only after consulting what Marcus Aurelius called the view from above. Market fluctuations, competitive threats, team conflicts, all are examined first from ground level, then from increasingly distant perspectives. As Seneca observed, time discovers truth, and often what seems catastrophic today becomes barely memorable in hindsight. This practice extends beyond business. Personal conflicts, health scares, financial worries, all benefit from this expanded view. The question, "Will this matter in 5 years?" becomes a powerful filter for emotional investment. As Marcus Aurelius counseled, look back over the past, with its changing empires that rose and fell, and you can foresee the future too. 9. Build character. In a world of shortcuts and compromises, imagine standing firm on quality standards despite losing your biggest client. Everyone calls it business suicide, but your inner compass aligns with Marcus Aurelius's directive. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. The pressure builds. Competitors cut corners, others succeed through questionable means, and bills pile up. But Epictetus's words resonate. First say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do. Small decisions become the building blocks of character, acknowledging mistakes when they could be hidden, returning extra change when it wouldn't be missed, keeping promises even when breaking them would be easier. Then something remarkable happens. Word spreads, trust builds. That lost client returns with an even bigger contract, specifically citing integrity as the deciding factor. As Seneca noted, time discovers truth, and character, it turns out, is the ultimate competitive advantage. The practice becomes systematic. Each decision, no matter how small, is measured against an inner standard. Marcus Aurelius advised, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This clarity simplifies countless decisions, though it doesn't always make them easier. The path of integrity often feels lonely, until suddenly it doesn't. 10. Learn from everyone. In a high-end restaurant kitchen, a breakthrough moment occurs. The executive chef watches a child playfully combine ingredients that don't belong together, accidentally creating what will become the restaurant's signature dish. Marcus Aurelius's wisdom rings true. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. This openness to unexpected teachers transforms everything. A street performer's timing influences plate presentation. A florist's color theory reshapes garnish choices. Even a complaint from a difficult customer sparks a menu innovation. As Epictetus taught, it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. 11th, act with integrity. In a dimly lit newsroom, A journalist stares at an email offering a lucrative position writing sensationalized stories. The salary would solve countless problems, but Marcus Aurelius's words echo, "Just that you do the right thing, the rest doesn't matter." The cursor blinks on the apply button, waiting for a decision that will shape more than just a career. What follows isn't just a choice, but a cascade of consequences. Declining the offer means continuing to struggle with rent, but sleeping soundly. Writing truthful stories means fewer viral hits, but building lasting trust. As Epictetus observed, circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself. Then comes the watershed moment. A major political scandal breaks. Sources specifically request this journalist's coverage, trusting in a reputation for unwavering honesty. Seneca's wisdom proves prophetic. Time discovers truth. The same integrity that seemed to slow career progress becomes its greatest accelerant. The practice evolves into what might be called an integrity compass, each decision measured against Marcus Aurelius's standard. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. The mounting pressure of deadlines, competition, and public opinion all bow before this simple metric. 12. Keep learning. Inside a state-of-the-art operating room, a surprising scene unfolds. A surgeon with 3 decades of experience listens intently to a first-year resident's suggestion for improving a procedure. Seneca's advice rings true. As long as you live, keep learning how to live. The resulting collaboration leads to an innovation that reduces patient recovery time by half. This openness to learning transforms everything. Lunch breaks become quantum physics study sessions. Evening commutes turn into philosophy podcasts. Weekends witness the clumsy but joyful attempts at mastering piano at 60. As Marcus Aurelius counseled, the universe is change, our life is what our thoughts make it. The methodology becomes systematic. Each month brings a new subject, skill, or perspective. Epictetus's warning guides the approach. It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. The benefits extend far beyond knowledge. Mental flexibility increases, creativity flourishes, and the fear of failure diminishes in the face of constant novice status. Most surprisingly, this perpetual learning stance becomes contagious. Colleagues begin sharing their own hidden interests. Patients offer unexpected insights. Every interaction becomes a potential classroom, proving Seneca's observation that while we teach, we learn. 13. Master self-discipline. Dawn breaks over a city. While most hit the snooze button, one light already burns in a small business office. Epictetus's words guide this early riser. No man is free who is not master of himself. The morning ritual unfolds with military precision, not from obligation, but from understanding what Marcus Aurelius meant. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The self-mastery protocol begins small, bed made to perfection, promises kept no matter how minor, appointments kept to the minute. As Seneca taught, most powerful is he who has himself in his own power. These small victories lay the foundation for larger ones. When market panic strikes and competitors slash prices, this discipline bears fruit. While others react from fear, steadiness prevails. Marcus Aurelius's counsel proves true. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The business not only survives but thrives, precisely because of the calm maintained in chaos. The practice deepens. Each impulse to quit, each temptation to take shortcuts, each urge to follow the crowd becomes an opportunity to strengthen self-governance. As Epictetus noted, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The greatest discoveries come not from controlling external events, but from mastering internal responses. 14. Welcome feedback. In a buzzing tech hub, a developer receives scathing criticism about their code. Instead of the usual defensive response, something different happens. Epictetus's teaching comes alive. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space, a transformation begins. Each piece of criticism, no matter how harshly delivered, becomes a potential goldmine of improvement. Marcus Aurelius's wisdom guides the approach. Look well into thyself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if thou wilt always look. A systematic feedback framework emerges, built on 3 questions. What truth exists here, even if poorly expressed? Epictetus advised, if anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, he was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned these alone. What perspective might make this feedback valuable? Marcus Aurelius reminded, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. How can this criticism become a catalyst for growth? Seneca urged, while we are postponing, life speeds by. The results transcend mere professional development. Relationships deepen as defensiveness dissolves. Innovation accelerates as ego steps aside. Most surprisingly, critics often become allies, drawn to the unusual spectacle of someone who genuinely welcomes their perspective. 15. Find inner peace. Picture a trading floor during a market crash. Screens flash red, phones ring incessantly, and panic fills the air. Yet at one desk, remarkable calm prevails. Not from ignorance of the chaos, but from understanding what Marcus Aurelius meant. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. This trader has discovered that external chaos need not dictate internal state. The journey to this calm wasn't instant. It began with a simple morning practice, 10 minutes of silence before markets open. As Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This small ritual gradually expanded into a comprehensive approach to maintaining tranquility amid turbulence. The methodology proves powerful. Each market swing becomes an opportunity to practice detachment. Client panic becomes a chance to demonstrate steady reasoning. As Seneca observed, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. The ability to maintain inner peace becomes not just a personal advantage, but a professional asset. Most remarkably, this inner stillness proves contagious. Colleagues begin gravitating toward this island of calm. Clients learn to trust judgment untainted by emotional reactivity. As Marcus Aurelius counseled, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. 16th, practice kindness. In the security line at a crowded airport, a scene unfolds. A businessman watches a young mother struggling with luggage and a crying child. Instead of the usual irritated glance, he recalls Marcus Aurelius's wisdom. Kindness is invincible. What follows transforms not just a moment, but ripples through countless lives. The simple act of helping with her bags cascades into unexpected consequences. The mother, relieved, can comfort her child. The calmer child soothes nearby travelers. The security line, typically tense, lightens with shared humanity. As Seneca noted, wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. This practice becomes systematic. Each interaction becomes an opportunity to embody what Epictetus meant when he said, "All philosophy lies in 2 words, sustain and abstain. Sustain kindness, abstain from judgment." The angry customer becomes someone possibly facing hidden battles. The rude driver might be rushing to a hospital. The impact extends far beyond momentary good feelings. Business relationships deepen through genuine care. Team loyalty strengthens through consistent compassion. As Marcus Aurelius observed, what benefits the hive benefits the bee. Kindness, it turns out, is not just virtuous, it's pragmatic. 17. Own your life. In a corporate boardroom, a pivotal moment arrives. Years of blaming circumstances, markets, and others for mediocre results suddenly collide with Epictetus's stark truth. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The realization hits. Responsibility and power are two sides of the same coin. What follows is not a dramatic resignation, but a profound shift in approach. Each challenge becomes not a source of complaint, but an opportunity for response. Marcus Aurelius's guidance lights the way. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The methodology becomes clear. Start each day by identifying what can be controlled. Market conditions. Number response to market conditions. Absolutely. Other people's actions. Number personal preparation and reaction. Without question. As Seneca advised, life is long if you know how to use it. Most powerfully, this ownership mentality proves transformative. Projects accelerate when responsibility replaces blame. Innovation flourishes when solving problems matters more than explaining them. As Marcus Aurelius reminded, the universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. 18. Flow with life. On a busy urban street, a seasoned taxi driver navigates through chaos with surprising serenity. His secret? Understanding what Marcus Aurelius meant. Life is like a river. The way is not to push against the current, but to flow with it while maintaining your direction. This wisdom manifests in countless ways. When traffic snarls, alternate routes appear. When passengers rage, calm prevails. When weather disrupts, adaptation follows. As Epictetus taught, don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen, and you will go on well. The practice becomes an art. Each apparent obstacle transforms into an opportunity. Rain brings more customers. Competition spurs innovation. Difficult clients teach patience. Seneca's insight proves true. The greatest power of governance is self-governance. Most remarkably, this flowing approach attracts success rather than chasing it. Customers prefer the calm driver. Fellow drivers make space for courteous navigation. As Marcus Aurelius noted, everything that happens happens as it should, and if you observe carefully, you will find this to be so. 19. Take action. In a coffee shop, a writer stares at a blank screen. Countless books on writing fill their tablet, yet no words flow. Then Epictetus's voice cuts through the paralysis. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. The next moment, fingers meet keyboard, and the first imperfect sentence appears. This represents more than just starting. It's a fundamental shift from consumption to creation. As Marcus Aurelius observed, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. The transformation is immediate. Reading about entrepreneurship becomes launching a modest business. Studying fitness becomes joining tomorrow's 5 a.m. workout. Dreaming about travel becomes booking a flight. The methodology crystallizes. Identify one actionable step, however small, and execute it within 24 hours. No more waiting for perfect conditions. They don't exist. As Seneca warned, while we wait for life, life passes. Each morning begins with the question, what single action will move me forward today? Most powerfully, action creates its own momentum. One paragraph becomes a chapter. One workout becomes a routine. One client becomes a business. As Marcus Aurelius counseled, The universe is change, our life is what our thoughts make it. But only action transforms thought into reality. 20. Embrace simplicity high. In a sleek downtown office, a revelatory moment occurs. An executive stares at an overflowing calendar, multiple phones buzzing simultaneously, and understands what Seneca meant. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. The path forward becomes clear. Simplify everything. The transformation begins with a ruthless audit. Each commitment, possession, and relationship faces Marcus Aurelius's question: is this necessary? The results are startling. The packed calendar thins to essential meetings. 3 phones become 1. A cluttered desk becomes a clear workspace. But the real transformation runs deeper. Decision-making simplifies when filtered through clear principles. Relationships deepen when given proper time and attention. Work improves when focused on what truly matters. As Epictetus taught, know first who you are and then adorn yourself accordingly. The practice evolves into an art. Each day begins with identifying the essential. Distractions are recognized and eliminated. Time expands when not fractured among countless commitments. As Marcus Aurelius advised, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. These 20 principles don't exist in isolation. They form a tapestry of practical wisdom. Imagine a morning where presence opens your eyes to gratitude, where facing mortality fuels purposeful action, where maintaining perspective guides your response to challenges. This isn't philosophical theory, it's practical living. The methodology becomes clear. Start with one principle that resonates most strongly. Practice it until it becomes natural. Then add another. As Epictetus counseled, practice yourself for heaven's sake in little things, and thence proceed to greater. The transformation occurs not in dramatic moments, but in daily choices, choosing presence over distraction, integrity over expedience, action over contemplation. As Marcus Aurelius reminded, the art of living is more like wrestling than dancing. You must stand ready and firm to meet sudden attacks. Most profoundly, these principles create not just better days, but a better life. They offer not escape from challenges, but better ways to meet them. As Seneca observed, life is long enough and has been given in sufficiently generous measure to allow the accomplishment of the very greatest things if the whole of it is well invested. In a world of endless complexity, these ancient truths offer a path to genuine flourishing, not through avoiding life's challenges, but through meeting them with wisdom, courage, and grace. As Marcus Aurelius concluded, at dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for? The journey begins with a single choice. Will today be another day of reactive living, or the first day of a more intentional life? The wisdom of the Stoics lights the way, but the steps must be your own. Thank you for watching The Stoic Lifestyle. Remember, as Epictetus said, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Now go forth and live it. May your journey be guided by wisdom, strengthened by adversity, and enriched by the timeless principles you've learned today.